Good afternoon, everyone. As you can see, this is part of the effects that we are telling you. This is Mubende Mayor's Garden, and this is a very ancient public space that was created by the colonialists, the British colonialists. Mubende is one of the greater districts that was created by the colonial administration during the colonial days before Uganda attained its independence. This place has been here for over 100+ years, and it has been the lifeline and the public space where people meet for public gatherings. And this space has been very, very much important to the citizens of Mubende, where they have been meeting here, having different engagements, different sports activities. As you can see behind me here is the RDC offices, and this is why we are here to highlight these effects of these public spaces being vandalized, and these trees are being cut down in order to attain wood and timber like you see here. And we are trying and pushing activities and seeing that these trees are replaced and creating awareness, creating sensitization within the public, first creating sensitization within the public administration of Mubende district, creating sensitization within the citizens of Mubende, highlighting the effects of climate change and making sure that people understand the effects and what needs to be done. We are sensitizing to create public awareness in order for these effects not to happen again anymore. This is very sad, and recently we had Earth International Day on the 22nd of April 2003, and it's very unfortunate that this is the 25th of April 2003, and we are having to see these kind of effects that are happening within public spaces, within public administrations, and these are the people who are supposed to be pushing the agenda, making sure that these areas are protected.
Mr. Mayor, thank you so much for the opportunity, and we are not taking it lightly, and we always welcome dialogue so that we be responsible citizens at the end of the day, so that we can share the space that we are living in, share the community, so that at the end of the day, we are citizens who are trying to build something, a legacy for our future, and for the make sure that we preserve the different things that we have formed, that the different stakeholders have put in place. So one of the burning questions we are looking at, or what we want to know, is the brief history of the public space of the Mayor's Garden, its purposes, and what is the future plan of the place, and what ideas
under whose regime it was, what the purpose was for the future.
So basically a brief history about it, how the place came into place, and its purposes, and its vision and mission, and how can it be improved to serve the community. And despite the unfortunate events that took place of cutting down the native trees, how can we still work hand in hand with the municipality? Because at the end of the day, these trees that have been cut down are not going to come back, even if we want, no matter how much. But how do we go about that, and how do we improve, and how do we make sure that such a circumstance doesn't happen again? And where does the public stand, and what plans does the municipal have in terms of working together with the community and ensuring, and what programs does the municipality have to roll out in order to ensure that we are planting more trees, encouraging the citizens to plant more trees, and what activities does the office of the mayor intend to do? What are the plans of the office of the mayor? They have, work with the different youth groups or different stakeholders that are involved in climate change mitigation efforts.
Thank you very much. The Mubende district, as a district, started year back around the 1935.
Very true. One of the very oldest districts.
It's among the oldest districts in Uganda. At the inception, there were about 10 districts.
Yeah.
Because Mubende started in Kakumiro, the headquarters started in Kakumiro. Then they were transferred from Kakumiro after the arguments of the lost counties. Because earlier on, even Kakumiro, Buganga and Buyaga was part of Buganda. So the headquarters of Mubende started from Kakumiro. after the scuffle of the lost counties, it was transferred to here. And the British Protectorate had their headquarters at the Boma, Nakaima. And these houses you see down here, those were staff quarters, junior quarters.
Yeah.
But the bosses, the army commanders, the DCs and whatever were putting up at the top of the hill. But earlier on in 16,000, from 16,000 to 18,000, before the British took over Uganda as a protectorate, that was headquarters for the Bunyoro Kingdom. And that king called Nyaura, he was a king who was hunting so much. When he went in Tanzania to hunt, he found that tree of that nature, Nakaima. He admired it. He came with a seed and planted it there. So that Boma at the top was the Bunyoro Kingdom headquarters by then, for that particular king who was there by then. You know, Bunyoro Kingdom was an empire which started from southern Sudan, Tanzania. But this perimeter wall is going to be very short because you want air, fresh air to do what? Yeah. I'm an engineer. Sometimes when they do things, I say, no, I don't want these block things because he has been to Europe. You never found Europeans constructing houses and raising perimeter, and even at my home, I don't do this. I don't do them. Yeah. It is Nigeria and Uganda who have it so much. So we say very insecure. Let's create something like 0.5 meters, then we create a metallic grill like what you see at the State House in Entebbe. Yeah. This is what we are going to do. It's going to be a metallic grill. Where someone outside can run. Exactly, and that fresh air circulates so well. We agreed on that. Then we said, because there are laws, that when you have a main road, there is what we call road reserve. We measured off the road reserve. After road reserve, then that's where our perimeter wall is going to go through. So all trees which are along that line of perimeter wall, you have to remove them because you ground that when you have created, the people are not secure. We call it safety precautions in engineering. When I say you will be resting in this tree, I'm supposed to make sure that when you are resting, this tree will not cause you injury. But when you visit those trees, most of them, their branches are dry. So when you allow somebody to rest underneath, that dry branch can come under. It is showing you that if you know in ecology, even trees grow old. There are trees of 100 years, there are trees of 300 years, there are trees of 45 years. It depends on the type of a tree. Mayor's Garden, 93% of the trees it has, they are not our local trees. Those are trees which were brought by colonials. I want to take you, after here we shall go through. They are not our trees, but we are saying whether they are not our trees, if we don't have any reason to cut it, we shouldn't cut it. Yeah, sure. So those are the reasons why we are cutting trees. Those ones which are in trenches, those where we are going to construct these 3 courts for different sports activities. That's how we are going to do it. Then, critically, we look at a tree which is in the area of resting, but it will cause threat to the person who is resting there. As you are seeing what we are doing along our roads which we have completed. We are planting trees, but we have not planted the natural trees of ours, because most of African trees have a tendency of strong roots, and those strong roots tax our drainage system. They will break them down. So we go for fibrous roots. Those roots which cannot push, but these our original trees tend to have very strong roots which can even penetrate concrete. So we cannot put them in town and then at the end of it they damage. Remember,
They start damaging
the drainage we have made is it's one of the best drainages. This is the new design. We put water underneath. You don't want this huge volume to run
in the open.
in the open. Before I had become a mayor, 3 times water storm was killing young generation here. So we said, let's put this water run underneath. Apart from this minor one which falls on the carriageway and then immediately goes back to the drainage system. And you will like it when we finish it. You have not liked it because we are still constructing other road. But when we complete and we do away with the dust, you will like it so much. So this is how this area we are planning to improve on it, so that it looks like other. I think the best district with the good mayor's garden is in Tele, because that one harbors the president. It should have the best. We used to have even the golf court here, but everything was at the bomber at the top.
Yeah.
We had the best golf court in East Africa, and whites used to come and, but subsequent Robert's era, Amin's era, people took over. Now of recent I'm battling to reclaim
The land
but the problem, the Ministry of Lands went at the bomber and gave out plots without the knowledge of the district.
That's very true.
So you come here, I have a chap, Ministry of Lands give me, so I said now,
How do I reclaim back this land?
somebody has a chap that takes you to court. I have all this information because my dad worked here. He was a district engineer.
Yeah.
He used to tell us a lot of it. But when I became a mayor, then he gave me a lot of literature. Because they were the people who created this district.
Yeah.
So he told me, no, for us when we were young, we used to go to the bomber when whites are playing golf. For us, we used to go and pick those balls, which stray balls. We bring them and they give us sweets. Then I told him, can I drive here? I drive him. I drove him to the bomber.
Show me where the court
So
is.
when he showed me, I thought the entire thing was already taken over and people have land titles. But we missed some old people of 87 years in Europe still believe that we still have that golf court here.
Sure, that's very true.
So what you are seeing here, that's what I told you. You can't do everything to bring it to where it was. The damage was too much. The grabbing was too much. And when grabbing starts from the top, then it becomes very difficult for you who are below. So we are struggling to make that area look a little bit better and reusable, to use it more than what it is today. Because apart from some people who are going to court and whatever sitting there, there is nothing much.
Yeah, you can't really read a book.
We want to improve it because now I've got a donor who is giving me 50 computers. I'm refurbishing that community hall. You saw it was blown off. I'm refurbishing it. As I speak now, they are delivering computers next month. Because I want to create, they have given me free Wi-Fi to all the youth who are going to be
using that
facility. I'm not a sitting mayor. I came here for a purpose, and after that I'm leaving. I came here to show people how things are done, and I go because I was tired of things being done in the wrong way. So we want somebody to sit tandem with the World Bank conditions on whatever we are doing. And I really think that you will in that way. Unless otherwise, I think I've tried to answer your concern. I would like to bring even to your attention that mosque there you see there, There was a playground, there was another open space. The politicians who were there by then divided that space to themselves.
Muzei Rwanga 1994.
Muzei Sagala, Muzei Rwanga, Muzei... They divided that area for themselves.
I've also read about that.
So we had a lot of open spaces here. But the councils which were there by then were grabbing whatever they find on the ground. We came you either claim, but which is very costly. As I did to Kasana playground, by the time I came here, it was already given out to search.
Yeah.
We are now in court so long. You know how expensive it is. But we shall win the case because it doesn't have ground.
Yeah.
They took the playground without any procurement procedure. The Solicitor General did not give advice. There are quite a lot of things which they didn't do. So we are not scared of that case. We have appeared in court for a full year. The person who sued us is not reporting. So now we are applying for dismissal of the case.
It surely should be dismissed.
So for us to see us moving, but we are carrying a lot of pain. You people, you don't know. To change, to shoot where others are at the moment.
Mr. Mayor, with all those insights, thank you so much. You really trying to answer the questions.
Thank you so much.
Like head on. There's a little bit of two concerns that have evolved from the conversation or from the message that you sent us. One of the concerns is where you're saying we are going to be planting more trees or replacing the trees that were cut down in the mayor's garden. I don't know when the program is intended to roll out and how best can Munansi and Freetown work hand in hand with the municipality, roll out a drive where we can encourage other youths and then motivate. Is it going to be when there is a perimeter wall? Because normally when there's a perimeter wall, it means ask for access in no circumstances. So how free is the place going to be? And how best can Munansi and Freetown join together to roll out a tree planting exercise with the municipality?
We are so grateful, first and foremost. This space is going to be free. But what the security have told us is that once in a while there will be a sieving of the people who are seated there. They cannot leave it completely so independent to the user. They always have a critical eye of what is going there. That one we cannot deny them that right, because in any state without proper security procedures and measures gets a lot of problems. So the facility is going to be free. We are even going to put there seats. We are not sitting down, but we are going to put there seats. People can sit and rest and read and converse, name it, call it, whatever. So on the thread, it's not going to be on a fee. But again, we are trying to control it. Now we have animals because they can pass anywhere. But if you have a gate and somebody tends to bring in animals, it is easier to arrest those animals because some people have made it a grazing ground, something which is really bad. But now if you have proper entrances, it enables you to have basic. If one start engagement, it can be around October. However, I'm proposing if Munansi can say we're interested in flowers, can you give us areas where we can plant flowers? If the flower pattern has 10 areas, can you give us 3, such that for us we provide those flowers in that arrangement, such that we even put a signpost that these flowers were donated by Munansi, maintained by Munansi for such and such a period.
Yeah, sure.
That one I really feel it's better if you do it that way. It creates a very good impression. Yeah.
actually, I think in addition to what Christmas is saying, I actually want to say, I want to thank you very much, first of all. I want to thank the Mayor's office for being part of the Flip Town WhatsApp group ever since we started it. Yeah, because originally what we were doing is something that we did not think is possible in our community, and we got a lot of discouragement from very many people. We were thinking of a new world where the office...
When you came to my office, I gave you, I encouraged you to go on.
Yeah, sure. So we were looking at a new world where offices can interact directly with the public using social media. I'm actually saddened by the fact that you said the government things don't work through social media, because for me it is a vision that we just can't detach ourselves from social media.
It's true.
Right now we are in the era of AI, and people are looking at AI as something that is working by Google and YouTube and everything, but we have also built AI in our town here, in our locality, and that is what is helping us have Flip Town respond in a specific way to the different authorities, so that we can have good conclusions from every kind of discussions. It's helping us shape the way people communicate on the internet. For example, if a mayor does something, you're not supposed to come out and abuse him or do all these kinds of things. We're supposed to put grounds for objective dialogue and these kinds of things. So for us, we believe this is going to be very crucial in combining or covering the gap between the leaders and the people, because eventually the leaders are serving the people under any kind of system. So I would also want to say we are welcome, and we welcome the office of the mayor and all other offices that we are
Open at all times, very open.
Yeah, in case it might be challenging for you, especially your generation, having to update something on social media and everything. Sometimes you might write something very fast and then someone turns out and finds a mistake with it or something like that. But we can open up to you, so that in case you have any event where you feel this is an event that is very useful to the local population. For example, we are going to be cutting trees in the Mayor's Garden. Let us invite Flip Town, let us invite the Munansi group. There are other social media platforms like Mubende TV that have come up and all that stuff. We can actually run to the event and do positive coverage of our town and our
You can
leaders.
be intended so that most of these things that you do out of you're trying to do something positive,
Good, but the community
will perceive it negatively because they have not been invited or they don't even understand the beginning or the end of everything.
Yeah, actually, like I told you, Mayor, that the last time I visited you here, we were trying to extend a kind of structure, but we had to shut down our whole office because of
I'm completing this.
we had to shut down the whole program of building a youth center. You remember the youth center we had at Chifufu Road? This was a fully funded youth thing where the youth decide out of what we are building. Someone says, and we are building something where all of them can get together and they believe in this kind of thing. So we had started inviting all the different stakeholders in the community to understand that there is a certain class of youths that we think are very important to the community, but the community might not be using them the right way. Because, for example, they look at them like someone will look at me and say, why but they don't know that I'm a software developer who is capable of developing things as intelligent as.
But you need to respect someone's rights.
Yeah, sure.
Looking the way you are doesn't mean that you're not concerned, you're not a citizen.
Sure. So when we don't come out as youth and find people of different kind of lifestyles, but with different knowledges that you think this is very important to our community, we were building this kind of thing. And we decided to make sure we take it online, and these are some of the things that we can see that are coming out of this. When people observe something that they are curious, might have some dubious activity going on, they wish to come back to the platforms and report. And when they report and the mayor is in the platform, there is this kind of sparking of a discussion. And this is how we end up in the Mayor's Garden, to take back information to the community and tell them, we had some kind of, we thought it is this, but the office says it is this. Now, how do we get together to make sure the end goal is satisfying both to those who are creating the development and those who are beneficiaries of the development? So I think the Mayor's Garden tree thing is a very good example, because just a few days, yesterday but one was International Earth Day. And previously we had a project that we got together with Munansi, and we have been working on the National Water Week. Yeah.
Mubende, when they're widening it,
That was
all
saga.
the mangoes have been put down, but in the interest of the wider road to avoid accidents. So now Munansi should fight for restoration of those trees after the project, but you
Very
cannot.
true.
That project of Kagadi Mubende took a lot of trees, but the impact assessment report of them was there to say, how do you restore? You see, Ministry of Works is now planting trees, but what I'm not happy with, they are planting trees which are not good for us.
Yeah.
So this is where your intervention should be coming in, but not say,
Of course,
we rather do with the old thing.
we cannot know about this intervention. What we can do when we are just there, we need to come here.
Exactly, you
and
come
then
with
talk to
people, and you are the next leaders. Any leader will come with only one item. I want to be a mayor. You are doomed. I've changed this area because of my personal initiatives,
Yeah.
not council. And the council is on my back. But if I was a mayor, I would be like other mayors who have been around.
Doing that.
You see mayors,
Old native trees, for example, you can look at the trunk of this tree. It's about 1 meter in diameter. These are very old native trees that have been in this town from the days of the colonial masters. They set out this part as an open public space for the people to do all the relaxation and the kind of developmental activities that they can do. So we are here to bring to your attention that these trees have been cut down under a kind of beautifying project by the World Bank. The project is funded by the World Bank and is being implemented by the Mubende Municipal Council. So, to our concern as the locals and the citizens, these trees are not just old trees that we have seen in our town. They carry a lot. They carry our heritage. They actually carry a history of this land, and we are interested in protecting them and making sure the future generations all around Africa can stand up for the native species of African trees and fight for them to live longer, fight for our communities to plant more trees whenever we can, and have our biodiversity come back to life in this struggle for climate justice all around the world that is going on today. So we started out on social media where some of the local flippers and Munansi discovered that this activity was going on. They wrote about this activity, explained it very well to the public, and we decided to come and talk about it. First, we talked about it in the social media WhatsApp groups, and we actually started an online kind of protest to let more people know and create awareness about the importance of these native trees in this kind of area. So we managed through our WhatsApp groups to secure a kind of meeting and a public-private dialogue with the mayor. So we've just come from the mayor's office and we have come to this project. And the mayor was supposed to be joining us, but he had some other kind of activity to do. So we have come to this project to bring to you the exact reality of what is happening on the ground. Like you have known from the video that we have from the mayor's office, you've had his explanations, and the people in the area also have their knowledge and explanations about this. So we are looking at a tree like this one. Whoever knew this tree, I don't think this tree was actually very old and very dangerous to the people, but we are not yet aware where we are going to